How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan and this is Ade, and welcome back to another edition of Boxtalk. Guys, we're going to do a quick video on the top 10 heavyweights in the world. As we mentioned previously, there's been loads of heavyweight fights recently. The division has changed, titles have changed, so we're going to give you our quick top 10.
People failed drug tests.
People failed drug tests. And it's funny you mentioned that. That's why I've got this in my hand. So, looking at our top 10, what we had, I said something looks wrong. Let's just check out what's going on. So I went to BoxRec to just look at the top heavyweights in the world based on their rankings. At number 3, they have Alexander Povetkin, who failed the drug test. At number 8, they have Lucas Brown, who failed his drug test, his A and B sample. At number 10, they got Erkan Tempov, who hasn't been officially banned by the Russian Federation yet, but has reportedly failed 3 drug tests.
What would it be the Russian Federation?
I think it was on the Russian Federation, it was.
He's German. Was he fighting in Russia?
No, but that's who banned him apparently.
Oh, okay.
At number 11, they got Antonio Tarver, who failed his drug test in his last fight.
Do you think someone just is not doing their work?
I don't know, but this is why I don't follow other rankings except independent rankings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a good example. Ade, let's start with this list.
Okay, so we start from 10?
Yes, at number 10.
Alright, so, number 10, we have MALIK Scott. People might say, what? MALIK Scott? Yeah, MALIK Scott, number 10. You know what? And in doing these rankings, I realise, as much as we talk about the heavyweight division is so deep, it's not deep, because after that it gets really bad. Between 11 and 20, it's like bad. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think David Haye is quite high on some people's lists, and that kind of shows how bad it is. But regardless, MALIK Scott has only been beaten twice, people. Or was it 3 times, I think? Derek Chisora, I don't know, they're infamous not getting up. Deontay Wilder kind of smashed him, still infamous for that. But he's got some good wins on the record. He beat KLITSCHKO. You might say it was a draw, but he did check the fight. And he beat Tony Thompson. I mean, Tony Thompson's been a boogeyman for a lot of people. Not only are David Price, obviously drug problems there regardless, but he's been a boogeyman and he beat him quite comfortably as well. And
to defend his 10th ranking, if Povetkin didn't cheat and if Lucas Brown didn't have his controversial issues, he would not have been there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, very true. So yeah, they'll probably be above him. So that's probably why MALIK Scott has got it at number 10.
Yeah.
Number 9?
At number 9, we've got Bermains Deverne.
Who?
Yes. Inactive, but let's be fair. He was proven as mostly the best of the bunch for a while until Deontay Wilder caught him.
Best of what bunch?
We had the bunch of all the contenders trying to make a name for themselves. Everyone was jumping around. He came out and beat Ariola twice. Once on points and once by a good knockout. I think it was the 5th round. Yeah. Yeah. And at that time, Ariola was serviceable. Yeah. And was still a top 10 ranking fighter. No one else was taking that type of risk. He deserved his ranking. He's been inactive, but give him a month or 2. Let's see if he gets back in the ring.
Yeah, I'd like to see what he does, because he is quite a small heavyweight in the land of the giants, so he might have problems. I think Wilder showed that he might struggle to get in and kind of land his telling punches, but regardless.
Has got good hand speed and good power as well when he gets in range.
Yeah, age, weight, might have a problem getting higher than that, number 9. Number 8, coming out party, Joseph Parker. We also what he done on the weekend, a lot of hype about Joseph Parker, but regardless, it was a tough fight against Takam. He's in, because a lot of people had Takam as top 12, top 15. So you beat the guy there, you have to kind of jump a couple of places.
You beat the gatekeeper.
You beat the gatekeeper. Yeah. It was a tough fight, we'll learn a lot from it. Yeah. But like Ryan said, it's good to get young, fresh blood. And I think he could make a run against a few people. We've still got things to work on with him. Is his power real? His defensive skills? But like I said, he beat Takam, and that deserves some sort of credibility. That's a name he beat.
I'm not taking shots at anyone at all, but let's be fair. Takam is better than most of the opposition guys in the top 10 have fought in the past 6 months.
Yeah, agreed actually. A lot of the other guys are picking to fight Takam for obvious reasons. Awkward, strong, keeps coming forward, as we saw. Who we got? Number 7, Brian Jennings. People could argue, and I can understand what people might say is a bit lower than he should be, but if you've got to look at the last 2 people that have beaten him are KLITSCHKO and Ortiz. There's no shame in that. KLITSCHKO dominated for years until the Tyson Fury loss, we know that, and Ortiz I think is the best heavyweight in the world. I think he smashes a lot of the top heavyweights right now if they fight him, which they won't. So that's why there's no shame in those defeats. And look on the other side, you beat the likes of Mike Perez, tough fight, late starter. Yeah, a natural athlete, so to speak, not a boxer. I think he's done well with his career. And I think he'll beat or give. I think he'll beat the guys below him. So I think he'll beat the Parkers for now, the Malik Scotts. I think he'll do those. But just the Butler, he's the kind of person that would never go higher than 8 or 7. Sorry, never go higher.
So I tell you what's funny when you look at someone like Bryant Jennings, and I'm asking it's funny because he's a good fighter. But what I'll give Bryant Jennings for is that when he fought Klitschko, he didn't get embarrassed.
He thought he won, bro.
No, I don't know what he's thinking.
He started showing he got shots.
Yeah, he got too many hits, too many jabs. Yeah, but it's one of those ones there where most people get embarrassed and get blown out. He didn't. You know what I mean, that shows he had some acumen in the ring.
Yeah.
And number 6, people might say it's controversial. Anthony Joshua. People want to have him really high as the top 1 or 2, 3 in the world. Let's be fair, guys. Joshua is a great potential, a great athlete, and as Eddie Hunky's telling us, he's a work in progress. But let's look at his actual record. He hasn't fought no one universally ranked as of yet. When he fought Charles Martin, the fight was based on that their development level, they're even. But Charles Martin was not a universally ranked fighter until he got the IBF trinket against a broken knee Glasgow. So you can't take away Joshua's credit for winning the fight, but you've got to look at actually who have you actually fought at this present time to rank any higher. Yeah,
you look at his last 4 or 5 fights, guys, and let's be honest, you've got Gary Cornish, Kevin Johnson, who's just an opponent for a lot of people, Dylan White, and Charles Martin, and that's going to be Brizzelli. So again, that's 5 guys that aren't in the top 10 universally. Some of them will be scratching top 15. So it's hard to put him any higher than that. Do you know what I mean? So I agree with you. People might argue and say he's the best in the world.
Brizzelli and Kingpin don't make my top 20 or 25.
Alright, cool. Alright, next on the list we have a man that's only lost once. And that once was when he tried to think he could somehow go to what do they say when you go to a fight with a knife and the guy's got a gun or something along those lines? And that's KUBRAT PULEV. He got viciously knocked out by Vladimir Klitschko because he really thought he could go toe-to-toe with Vladimir Klitschko. He's come back, had a couple warm-up fights, so he ate warm-up fight, and then we all saw what he's capable of again against Derek Chisora, who was around the top 15, top 12 mark. He kind of handled him pretty easily, quite comfortably. And I think PULEV, who's got wins over against Ustinov.
Stopped him.
Stopped Ustinov. The big Ustinov at the time, it was very serviceable at that time.
Massive.
And kind of Ustinov almost quit in that fight. So I think PULEV is a handful for anyone on this thing again. Even if they fight Vladimir, I don't think he'll go that way because he'll learn how to box a bit better. Got a great jab, he's big, he's strong. I love seeing him against someone like Anthony Joshua. It won't happen though.
Definitely would have against Joshua. That'd be a bloody good fight.
Very good fight.
And number 4, and this is where we talked about where the ratings are flawed. Me and Addy disagreed on the placing of this particular person. Even though we both agree he is the best heavyweight in the world, based on who he's fought and where he stands right now, and obviously adding the titles, we got Luis Ortiz. King Kong makes heavyweight boxing look like lightweight boxing.
His movement
is tremendous, his punch is tremendous, his technique, his power, his hand speed, everything looks like wow. I don't know what to say about him. All I want to say is let's get this guy fights, because guess what? He's the best in the world right now, I think.
I agree. Number 3, could have been number 4, could even be number 5, is Deontay Wilder. Look, agreed, he hasn't beat anyone, but when he beat Bermane Stiverne, that was supposed to be a close fight, comfortable. Everyone else he's fought after that, trouble but knocked out. Was supposed to fight Povetkin. I had him win that fight, Ryan had him losing, but was supposed to go over there and do the job. He's a WBC champion. He has the best knockout record in heavyweight history, I think, right now, because he's not really fought anyone. But regardless, I think Deontay Wilder is the 3rd best heavyweight. And look, let's be honest, we put him in against all the other guys in that division. It's great matchups. One thing I will
say about Deontay Wilder, and it's just something that I'm talking about boxing, is that when you get a title, you want to defend it. Regardless of my personal opinion, he has defended it.
He's been active.
And he's been active. And he was going to be fighting this weekend, gone against his legit threat, and he took the fight and went there. You have to give him some credit for it.
Good point. A lot of these called welterweights and other weights, this guy's has once a year fighting, twice a year fighting.
Or they do a Canelo and throw the butt in the bin.
There you go. Number 2, Dr. Stillhammer, Vladimir Klitschko. Really and truly, you can make an argument for him being number 1, and that sounds silly because Tyson Fury beat him, but you could make an argument for him being number 1 because the dominance was so
Dominant, yeah.
Whether you like his style or not, his style is effective. It gets the job done, and it's just you can't argue. People might say there's a couple of bums in there. Always fights his mandatories. Doesn't like giving his belts away. Brings them on, fights them. Couple of voluntaries in there, knocks them off. Everyone thought he might not take the Tyson Fury fight. Yeah. Initially, took the fight. Vladimir Klitschko, when all is said and done, and we talk about him in 20 years' time, we'll look at him and think, geez, that guy was dominant.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, you think. Remember what the Lennox Lewis is different. Let's all remember the stick Lennox Lewis got 15, 20 years ago. So 15 years ago. Similar stick. Boring. Yeah. Lennox Lewis, jab, puts his weight on you. Yeah. Wait a minute, there's another guy who does exactly the same thing. So I think Vladimir Klitschko will be appreciated in years to come, maybe not now.
Vladimir is a legit Hall of Famer. Don't care what you guys say, he will make the top 15, most probably 16 all-time heavyweight. That's hard ground to match.
Yeah, and what is he now, 39?
39, 40.
40?
Yeah.
There you go, and still going.
Yeah. The last one, the big guy.
The biggest, isn't he?
Yeah.
On the list anyway.
The biggest on the list.
On the list.
Let me tell you a quick story about Tyson Fury. My very first interview was with Tyson Fury in a place in West End, remember?
Yeah, the Sports Cafe.
Sports Cafe, something like that, yeah. Yes. And it was the first time I met Tyson Fury, and the first thing I said to Adi after I interviewed him is that this guy's got intensity. What he says, he means. His belief is powerful, and it's weird when you say that, but when someone's got like an aura and they've got a presence, and you're around it, you can feel it. And from that time, me and Adi said, guess what? He's gonna get a title. Not just because of his skill, and at that time he was still fresh, in a sense, but you knew he had that desire. And that's one thing that he showed, that guess what? He can look ropey, he can get clipped, he can punch himself. He did get dropped by a cruiserweight. But guess what? He believed in himself, he's worked at it, he's put it all together, and guess what? He beat a Hall of Famer, Vladimir Klitschko, which no one done for how many years? 12.
He went into Lion's Den. And let's all remember what David Haye was saying when David Haye was going to go over there and do this and do that and do. He went into Lion's Den, talked the talk and walked the walk. The thing we like about Mayweather so much, you can do all this, can you back it up though? You know what I mean? And he went in there and started slamming tables. I'm going to do this. I was like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. And he done it. Might not be body beautiful, might not say the right things, might not be the people's choice of who's going to take boxing forward, but right now he is the best heavyweight in the world. Until someone knocks him off, it will stay the best heavyweight in the world.
You were so teased.
There you go, guys. That is our top 10. Who we've missed out. Come on, give us your order. I know some people are going to have Anthony Joshua as number 1. Come on, think about it. Really. Some people might even have Dylan White in there.
Someone's got David Haye in there. Enough said.